Hey D's fans, 4 days later and we're back for another episode of Before the Bounce, this time previewing our round 11 clash with North Melbourne. We're back at Adelaide Oval where we got the win on Wednesday night. We've won 4 of our past 5 games there and hopefully we'll take the 4 points back to Maroochydore. Now the big question mark going into tonight's game is of course the 4-day break. We struggled against Port Adelaide last time we faced it, but North Melbourne are also coming off 4 days having played Geelong on Wednesday night. So it'll be an even playing field tonight. We'll also have fresh legs heading into the clash, making 5 massive changes with Max Gawn and Jack Viney the key outs for the game. It does give a few boys some second chances, which is good to see, and Jake Melksham will take the reins as captain for the first time at the club. We're also going to see Luke Jackson, Cozzy Pickett and Trent Rivers play in the same side for the first time, our 3 draftees. And while we don't have as many big names tonight, one aspect of the game that doesn't necessarily rely on big names is the forward half pressure, and it's something we did really well last week. Adelaide scored from just 4% of their rebound 50s on Wednesday night. We were really able to slow them down when trying to come out of our forward half of the ground, force them down the line and make it really hard for them to score from general play. That forward pressure is a direct reflection of our effort, and it's something that for the most part of the year has been really solid. Of course, it had that lapse against Port Adelaide, but Clayton Oliver is confident we won't see that again.
Wasn't us, it wasn't anything about what the Melbourne person stood for. So we put that in the bin pretty quickly and moved on, which was nice. We played well last night.
While Gawn and Viney are the drivers of that effort, this man, Jake Lever, will be vice-captain today. Jake, does that change the way you go about things at all?
No, not really. I think that naturally in my game that I like to speak a lot out on the field and try and get the boys up before the game. So it's naturally something that I do. And obviously, as you said, Max and Jack are a big part of that leadership. But I think the best thing about our group at the minute is there's lots of leadership in each different line. And hopefully we can continue to develop that over this week.
Obviously, we've made the 5 changes. It's quite a young side today, but does that bring some new energy and excitement to the group?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's guys coming into the side this week that haven't played for a while. You know, you got the likes of Charlie Spargo, who I know he hasn't been playing a hell of a lot in the the practice games and everything like that, but has been training the house down with us. And you got guys like really good opportunity for Jacko in the ruck today, which I'm super excited to see. And Mitch Hannon obviously comes back in. There's a range of different guys, especially down back. We've got Trent Rivers coming back in, which is super exciting as well. Defensively,
we kept Adelaide to just 37 points last week. Are you happy with how that's all tracking at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that if you keep any team to 37 points, it's a big win. And you speak a lot about keeping points. Teams to low points. It's not just the defenders. It's a whole range of different people out in the field at the one time. The forwards obviously have to create really good pressure, and the mids getting back to support the defenders always helps. So I think it was a great team effort on the weekend. We knew that it was going to be a grind, and for 3 quarters it was, and then we were able to break the game open.
We are a few senior players short today. Does it worry you at all about the lineup of this team?
Absolutely not. No, I think that throughout the whole pre-season before this COVID stuff that we spoke about being a squad mentality, having really good depth in all positions, and for the guys that are coming in, they're the roles that they've been playing, not only pre-season, but the practice games that we've been playing. So we're going to trust that everyone comes in, plays their role, and that's all we need.
It's looking like a pretty crucial game in the context of our season, either 4-6 or 5-5. Do you think about that at all, or just worry about what's ahead?
Oh, I think that there's always in the back of your mind, you're thinking of that. But once it's 5:40 Adelaide time and it's game time, we'll be ready to go, and we'll just be focusing on our next contest and that next quarter, next win, whatever it is. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, thanks for your time. Go well tonight.
Thank you very much.
Now it's time to do a quick Oppo Watch on North Melbourne. And you'd think this one would be a little bit easier given we're sharing a hub with North in Maroochydore and we're actually in the same hotel as them right now. They've made 3 changes to their side with Luke Davies-Uniacke, Sam Durden and Nick Larkey coming in for Ben Brown, Will Walker and Lockie Hosey. Now, we've lost 18 of our last 19 against North Melbourne. It's not a good record, but it's not something I think you should look into too much because obviously things are very different to 2007. What we do need to look at is their strengths and where we can beat them tonight. North are 5th and we're 6th in contested ball in the competition, so it's going to be hot in the middle. But the most important part is the centre clearances, because they've got one man who is really crucial, and that is Todd Goldstein. He averages 7 clearances a game, which is number 1 in the competition, and because of that, North are number 2. So the clearances really are an area that we're going to have to watch tonight. Goldstein is probably the number 1 ruckman in the competition at the moment, averaging 31 hitouts a game, 8 to advantage, and I feel like if we can get on top of him, we'll minimise the impact of the likes of Jai Simpkin, Jed Anderson and Sean Higgins as well. The man who will have a massive task against Goldie tonight is Luke Jackson. He won the Rising Star nomination last week, and he's certainly impressing in his first year of senior footy. He's just 18 years of age, and he's played predominantly up forward, but he is a natural ruckman and a natural footballer as well. It's the little things that I like about Dogger's game. This little block for Sam to help him come back and take the mark. It shows he's a natural talent, so look out for that today. Hopefully he has a big one and enjoys the extra responsibility in the middle of the ground against Goldie. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of other things to look out for in this game as well. Firstly, I want to see us open up the field with our corridor kicks. I think we're a better looking side when we play through the middle of the ground. Most teams want to own the corridor. We defended it quite well against Adelaide, and it's these kicks that really help us go forward with a bit more efficiency. This first one, Clary really uses his pace, takes the game on and opens up the field, gives himself time to hit up Melky. Melky slides into this one. There's space on the fat side of the ground for Sammy to lead into and take the mark at half forward. This one stems from that forward half pressure that I was talking about earlier. We were able to create the turnover, Lever intercepts here, but then it's the vision to look inside quickly, hit up the target and give us space to work in running towards the forward 50. And then finally Track, really good vision, switches it from half back. Melky takes it in the centre of the ground, moves on quickly. All of a sudden we've got all this space to head inside 50. Wiedemann contests and finishes with a handy goal on the left. So if we can keep taking these opportunities to go through the corridor, we'll be a much more dangerous side. And that leads to my second point, which is all about fast footy. We know we're a good contest team, but it's when we play fast that we really look like scoring. As silly as it sounds, the easiest place to score from is the goal square, and we're able to create a few of those opportunities against the Crows. If we can get that overlap tonight on Adelaide Oval, we should be able to score with a bit more ease against North Melbourne. And finally, it's the kick-to-kick game that I think we'll be looking to avoid. And by kick-to-kick, I'm talking about this sort of stuff where we went long down the line to a contest against Adelaide, particularly in the third quarter. That's not the way we want to play. We're 18th in the competition for long kicks. North are 4. So if you see this style of play, it may mean that we're going to struggle to hit the scoreboard as regularly. That's all from Before the Bounce. It's time to head off to the game. So stay tuned for more social coverage throughout the night.